dedication. So D, dedication.
So Kim just brought up the fact that it wasn't recording. So we're starting from here, I guess. Just so y'all ladies know. So those first letters won't be on there.
It said it was recording, then it said it wasn't. So I don't know what happened.
It says it's recording right now.
I just hit record when I saw that. But whenever she said that, because I hit record and then it said it wasn't recording.
Wow.
When she said it. So I don't know what happened. So if you guys want to recap what you said, just the letters.
Yeah, so I'll go back. So we started with the letter A, and the letter A was your attitude determines your altitude, how you handle life in general, how you roll with the punches, how you take the jabs and still keep smiling and still keep moving forward, still keep moving higher is it truly does determine how your attitude truly does determine how high you are able to go in business and in life.
And then B was branding. And I talked about it from the aspect of not just only your business branding, but also branding in life, because branding is simply the outward representation of whatever that thing is. So for you, as a person, you put your brand and stamp on whatever it is that you do, and you're branding that as who you are. Also in the spiritual realm, you are representing the brand of Christ as well in everything that you do. So that was B.
All right. C, collaboration. Collaboration simply means that when you come together with people who have a like-minded vision, then you're able to collaborate to the fullest and you get more done. You collect more cash, as we like to say here. But that's the power of collaboration.
And so we are back up to speed now. We were on the letter D, and D was dedication. D was dedication. And as I said, there were so many, words. There were so many words that I could have come up with for the letter D, deliberate, decisive, but determination. But dedication won, because you truly do have to be dedicated to being the absolute of who you are called to be. And so you have to be dedicated. You can't be wishy-washy. You can't be lukewarm. You have to be hot or cold, but you have to be dedicated to something. And I tell people all the time, it's okay for you to choose the wrong thing if that's what you want to do, right? But just be dedicated about it. Even if you're going to choose the wrong thing, be dedicated to the wrong thing. So we have to be dedicated to the things that we decide to do in our lives. We just can't be wishy-washy. Wishy-washy gets spit out. Wishy-washy gets thrown out with the bathwater.
Right. Awesome. And so E, I have, of course, I'm sure my two co-hosts will find no surprise with my E pick, which is empowerment. And so in my bio, I often talk about being the empress of empowerment, because to me, empowerment is just so important in everything that we do. And this really kind of goes back to a post that I had made, and even with the other show that I co-host, Business Blabbing with the Besties, talking about serving first, and from a place of really wanting to empower those that you come in contact with, whether it's from business or just in everyday life, really truly understanding the importance of that's what a true leader does. They empower those around them to be able to stand up and show up in their space, and flex their own gifts, and empowering people to do so. And that's how you really help to affect change, on a local level as well as a global level, with really empowering those around you to be able to be their best and do their best and be exactly all of who they have been created to be. So couldn't be talking about, business and life and not talk about empowerment with E. It was a no-brainer.
I feel like you guys will know my F word. I'm gonna say
the second letter U.
Yes, yes. Girls just wanna have some. Oh, all right. I can't sing, but I am fun. And F is fun, guys. Oh my gosh. My beautiful Miss Marilyn has called me fantastic. I just can't live life without having fun. Anytime I want people around me, we're gonna have fun. No matter what the task is, we'll make it happen. So fun has to be the word that shows up today on our show.
I love it. I love it. Love it. I love it. Love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all, God, what's wrong with you? So G, the letter G, gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude is that one word just alone, just gratitude, just being thankful and gracious for every single aspect of life, the ups, the downs, the hills, the valleys, the yeses, the nos, and knowing that and being showing gratitude for every single moment is truly what opens us up. It opens up the heavens. Like it literally opens up the heavens. So we must show gratitude for everything. And I know it's not always easy to show gratitude when you're flat on your back, right? But I'm telling you, in order to get up, even when you're flat on your back, you have got to be thankful. You've got to show gratitude for the moment. You know, I often talk about the gift of desperation, and you have to be able to see everything as a gift and show gratitude for that moment. So G is definitely gratitude.
Awesome. Well, I have H, and H is healing, because I have one of my mentors in the past. I always talk about, even in business, if you want to know the areas that you need to grow in and heal in, go into business for yourself, right? Because it definitely brings out and shows you those different areas of who you are, and and where you need to areas that you need to be healed in. And in order to really be able to move forth in life and business and anything that you're doing, you have to be healed from past hurts, from past situations. So even for me with doing business, even understanding how I show up and how my whole purpose in life is to help others show up, is because I had to get to a place where I healed from not showing up. Right. And so, and not being all of who I was created to be and who I know that I was here to be. And so now I'm able to support other women in doing that same very thing, because it was an area that I have now healed in, and it's still an ongoing. I had a conversation actually just Saturday with someone about how it's still an ongoing thing. It's, there's still days that are harder than others, and you're constantly still, healing in different ways, because as you continue to grow, you realize, oh, I thought I had handled that and I really didn't. And I need to go back and look at that and, and really heal that area and moving forward. So that's my H, because I think it's very important. A lot of people, especially as women, we don't talk about it as much as I feel like we need to, of really having a place of true healing.
There, y'all so deep. Y'all are so deep, man. That G and that H. I felt something in my spirit.
Hallelujah.
Being great.
I was like, I felt it. I was like, I see y'all camera. The I, okay. I is so important to all of us. It is such a great letter, guys. Why? Because it's it factor. See, this lady right here, her name is M.E. Porter. And this lady right here, her name is Famira, the Diamond Diva Green. Y'all, they wrote such phenomenal chapters in the It Factor. They talked about soul nourishment. They talked about leverage, guys. And if you don't know what the it factor is, it is the je ne sais quoi. It's that bada ba boom that makes you you. And when they wrote their chapters in this book, y'all, it made me go to a whole different level. So, guys, I is the it factor. It all begins with you.
Awesome. Yes.
Okay. By show of hands, who thinks they know what my J is going to be? By show of hands.
Jesus.
Who in the chat room can guess what the letter J is going to be? Coming from me.
You see who Kim already put down.
Yeah, Kim already see with me.
Yes. We got to have that Jesus. We got to have him. We must have Jesus. We must have Jesus. You can't have joy without Jesus. We must have Jesus. Can I say it again? We must have Jesus. And I say that from a place of absolute experience. From absolute experience, I have had like everything. I've had like dating a guy who could pick me up in a private jet. I've had every designer handbag. I've had my children wear the best of everything. I've had the brand new home, the brand new cars. I've had all of that. I've had all of that and just a real tiny bit of Jesus. And guess what? It didn't matter. So this is what I know for sure. In order for everything else to function right, you gotta have Jesus.
Well, no, that's right.
Definitely.
Speechless over here.
I'm like, let me just hold on. Just hold on to J for a moment before we go on to K. Yes. Because K actually goes right with J. Funny how that works. How works that out? Because my K word is knowing.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
And you can't know without Jesus.
Tell me, what would I do?
So, yes. So my K was knowing. I just love how he just orchestrates things because I want y'all to know that we have not shared our words with one another. We are all hearing each other's words for the first time on the show, just as you all are. And so, it's always very interesting to me on how divinely knit together things go and the flow of them. But I put knowing because the lack of knowledge on all fronts, whether spiritual, in business, or in life. Someone said that they're getting the echo. Is anyone else getting the echo? Because I don't hear it.
I don't hear it either.
Okay, so I don't know, Lakiba, but the whole thing is whether you're in business, in life, spiritually, any of those things, you have to have a sense of knowing who you are, knowing what your gift is, knowing how you're meant to show up. Because if you don't know, no one else is gonna believe you. So
send the prophet because I don't know.
Right. So you have to know, even with I see a lot of women that deal with this when it comes to like charging their work for their services. It's really from a place of lack of knowledge of themselves and of their gift and what they have to offer to the world that keeps them from charging what they should be charging for their offering. So I thought it was very important to have that on the list. So that's K.
Awesome. I don't have no more props, y'all. But I don't think. But L is for lessons. That resonated in my spirit very heavily when I looked at the letter L. Because good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, we all have lessons that we can learn from. And no matter what your past has been, no, it does not have to affect your future. And when you learn the lesson, you don't have to repeat the lesson. So L is for lessons because I'm learning some each and every day.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, we're back to me again, eh? So the letter M, the letter M, um, as a word girl, just who just like loves like nouns and verbs and adjectives and stuff. The letter M was like an overload word. That letter was like overloading for me. But the word that I settled on is movement. Movement. And I settled on that word because it has a dual meaning. So movement as in keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, but also movement and grabbing a hold to something that means something profound to you, right? And gathering other people around you who that same thing means something profound to them as well, and really beginning to change the world because of that thing that you believe in. So when I speak of that type of movement, I'm speaking of the Black Panthers. I'm speaking of the GRU conglomerate. I'm speaking of the push pin group. I'm speaking of soulpreneurs pray. I'm talking about grabbing a hold to something that means something to you, pulling together a whole another group of people who it means something to them too, and you guys coming together and collaborating in a collaborative effort to change the world. So movement as in keep on moving, don't stop, y'all, keep on moving, and movement as in
DJ
creating a powerful move that will change the world.
Right. So I just want to chime in with what you were just saying. One of our viewers, Lakiba, just posted and said, keep moving, especially when you have doubters. Let God prove himself strong in
Preach, baby.
you in front of all the doubters. I feel like preaching for real. Keep on.
All right.
That's so true. Awesome. So the next word is in, and that's back to me. So my word that I chose was neglect.
Mm.
And the reason why I chose the word neglect was twofold as well. One was to not neglect the journey. And so oftentimes we get caught up on the destination and on where we're trying to get to that next goal, the ultimate lifestyle, the ultimate, even in good works, the ultimate goal of breakthrough for others, of the impact that we want to have, but we neglect the journey that it takes to get there. And really it's in the journey that the transformation happens. The destination is just the end result of everything that happened along the way. And so I often talk about, not neglecting the journey, even with business, the journey that you take people through to get to the result that you provide for them. You need to be able to tell them this is the journey that they will go on. The other thing was on the opposite side of that was to neglect what everyone has to say about what you're doing. And just basically just meaning not to be concerned with that, not to feed into it, not to give it life, neglect that thing until it starves to death, right? And so that neglect that negativity that people try to put on you, and and that box that people try to put you into, neglect it until it starves to death. So that's where that N word is for me.
Right.
Shut your mouth and keep on talking. I'm typing. Okay. Oh. I'm John the morning show. Oh, okay. So, is for overcome. Is for overcome.
Woo! Yeah.
And we overcome by the testimonies of others, y'all. It is not by happenstance that we are here together sharing these words. And if you know us, or even if you just met us, these words are direct reflections into who we are. there's a reason, yes, ma'am. There's a reason, praise God, that we all have written chapters in that book too. Y'all, we got books for days. She got a book, I got a book, we got books for days. And we've written our testimonies in these books along with some amazing other women because it's time to overcome. I always say that nobody could tell my story like I could tell it. And I'm an open person. So 9 times out of 10, if you hear something about Stevie Aisha Mills, you either heard it from Stevie Aisha Mills or you could come and ask me, is it true? I'll tell you, because I've told my dirt. I've told my craziness. I no longer have hold to these things. It's not too much that I've hidden in the closet that I have not told, because I believe in the scripture. I believe that we do overcome by the testimonies of others, and that it is a direct reflection of who we are and why we are for us to tell our story. So that is what came in my spirit when I saw, oh.
All right. That was phenomenal, Stevie. You're absolutely right. I mean, that's the word. And they came by the blood of the Lamb and the power of their testimony. That is the word. That's the word, girl. Talk about words. That is the word.
Right.
But the letter P. I almost didn't choose this word because I think that it's one of those words where, society goes in waves, right? We go in waves where we jump on a soapbox and we gravitate to a specific word and we kind of hang out there forever. You know what I mean? And so it gets watered down. And so so words like love is so watered down. Everybody's running around saying, I love you, I love this, I love that. Nobody really gets the concept of what love is. Everybody's saying that's my friend. Nobody really gets the concept of friend, right? Nobody really gets that when I call you my friend, that means Saul is my daddy, the king, but David is my friend, right? So I'm going to go down in the cave with David. Nobody really gets that. And so this word that I've chosen, I fought against choosing it because I think we have gotten to a place where we have so watered it down till it really doesn't have the value and the impact that it should. So P for me is purpose. Purpose. P for me is purpose. And when I speak of purpose, I'm not talking about trying to figure out a business strategy. I'm not talking about all of these other plethora of things that people have attached to the word purpose, because at the end of the day, I don't care who's talking. I don't care if it's a preacher. I don't care if it's a drill sergeant. I don't care if it's a motivational speaker. If they're not telling you that purpose means to sit at the feet of Jesus and ask, what did you bring me to this planet for? And taking that answer and walking it out in your life. If they're not telling you that's what purpose is, they are giving you the wrong definition of purpose.
And she dropped the mic and left. Okay.
And it happened as soon as I hit enter. Bam.
She was like, okay, yes, ma'am. I know that's right.
And I'm done.
Famira, she said Pastor Aubrey played. That's funny.
Yes. So, once you are walking in purpose and you have sat at the feet of Jesus to find out what you're on this planet to do, then you will understand that queens don't quit. And that's Q. And so, the words for Q are queen and quit. And
yes.
Don't quit. And I had made a post it's been several weeks ago now, talking about when you recognize the fact that you're a queen, anywhere that you sit becomes your throne. And you're not worried about the location of where you're at. It doesn't change because, as a queen, her status does not change because she goes to the US. she's still the Queen of England. Like, her status still stays. It doesn't matter if she goes to poverty-stricken areas. She's still the Queen of England. And it's the same for us. When you're operating from a queen mindset, no matter where you're at, where you go, where your purpose takes you, you still move through it with the queen mindset, because you recognize that you are a queen. And once you truly, truly understand what that means, even from the spiritual aspect of holding office, because basically that's what a queen is about station and, and a level of office, then you understand that you can't quit, because just because she doesn't feel like doing something, the Queen of England can't say, oh, I don't feel like being Queen of England today. No, she's that until she dies. Point blank, period. Until death. And so it's the same with you and your purpose. You are here to do that thing until death. And so you can't quit. You have to continue to operate in it and walk in that and be the queen that you are until you leave this planet and take your last breath. And so, queen, don't quit.
That's why I have to keep my my microphone on mute sometimes, because I'm like, yes, Jesus, you better work. You better work. Okay, so R, right? I do have a small prop for you guys. R is about rest. Y'all see my pillow?
Yes.
R is about rest. And that is a hard one, guys, because for me, I did not know when I was tired. That sounds crazy, right? I didn't know that I was tired because I manifested that into, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm sick. Lord help. Mm-hmm. But I was tired and needed some rest. And my pastor said, when you rest, God works. And when you work, God rests. And I'd rather have God working on my behalf than anyone else. So my pillow is all about the rest I'm going to get. And simply put, it's not about being lazy, because sometimes rest can equate to laziness. For me, I've been labeled as a go-getter. That's one of the labels I have. And so when my spirit wants to move and when my body doesn't want to, I have to listen and I have to regroup. But rest is keenly important for all of us so that we can keep being fabulous and being queenly and looking fabulous and, doing the things and stay in our purpose, like the ladies have said. And without rest, you can't. Your body will shut down. Your voice will start getting tired. Your body will start getting tired. And you won't be able to function at the optimal level that you need to function. So rest, both mentally, physically, emotionally, they're all important. And when you are aligned at your optimum purpose and power, then you can truly change the world. But when you are not, then you won't be able to even change yourself.
That is awesome. Well, I'm just gonna piggyback off of your rest, Stevie. And as you listed the things that you have to rest from, I noticed that you didn't say spiritually, right? And so I'm gonna say this, and y'all don't have to like it, but I'm gonna say it because that's just kind of who I am. There even comes a time when spiritually we get worn out. There comes a time when spiritually you have to rest. And if we had done this show last Monday, I would not be able to speak it from this position. But because I'm in a place where God has said, I need you to gather your warriors so that you can rest and let them pray for you so that you can literally just sit silently with me. And so I know for sure that even spiritually, there are times when we have to rest. And that's what's so important about associations, which is another A word that I struggle with that one. But we have to be really mindful of our associations, because It does you no good to have a whole bunch of women around you that got the nicest cars and got the nicest clothes and live in the nicest parts of town. It does you no good if when it comes time for you to rest, you can't call them sisters and say, hey, I'm spent. I'm done. I have fought a good fight, but on this day, sister, I just gotta tap out. And if you can't tap a sister, I know I can tap Famira. I know I can tap Stevie. I know that I can tap the people that I associate with. I know I can tap them and say, I can't pray today. You gotta pray for me. Mm-hmm. And so I just had to throw in that even spiritually, we get wiped out. We do. I mean, and if you think about it, sometimes we don't want to admit to certain things because, we don't want to blow our witness, or we don't want to seem like we're not so strong in Christ. But, I go back to Jesus on the Mount after them 40 days of fasting, y'all. He was weak. He was weak. You know what I mean? Even when he went into the garden, he knew, I'm about to go in here and I'm about to pray this thing up and I'm about to say, hey, listen, if it's another way to do this, Daddy, can we do it another way? But he was spent. That's why he said, I need you guys praying for me, because I'm just going straight into the presence of God, and it's going to wipe me out. It's going to wipe me out. So even spiritually, we get wiped out and we have to rest. And so I just had to tap in and say, you gotta have associations that can undergird you, that can hold your arms up in the battle. Mm-hmm. You gotta have those people that can hold your arms up in the battle.
Amen.
When that preached.
Thank you for that tag team.
Preached. So the letter S, sacrifice.
Yes, Jesus.
Sacrifice. There must any part of your life that you truly desire to flourish and be absolutely fulfilled, you have to be sacrificing something. I mean, let's just be real. God himself sacrificed for us. So we have to make sacrifices. We must make sacrifices. Sometimes the sacrifice could be to just close your mouth. Close your mouth. It's a word that you really want to say. It's somebody that you really want to tell them this and you really want to tell them that. Sometimes the sacrifice is shut up. Just shut up. Mm-hmm. We must sacrifice. And I know that as women of God, as women of faith, oftentimes you can be listening to somebody bring a word, and that word is good and that word is powerful until the offering plate comes. And then all of a sudden you start to backpedal. Like, wait a minute, God. No. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your money. Sometimes that's what you got to sacrifice is your money. Yep. And you got to sacrifice it in such a way that you're not getting anything back. So I'm not talking about investing in yourself. I'm talking about sacrificing. It is an absolute necessary thing that we must do in life if we're going to fully walk in the fullness of who we are. Sacrifice.
So the whole time you were talking, y'all probably noticed I was over here smiling real hard and I was tickled. And I was tickled because just as well as my knowing went with Jesus, my T goes with her sacrifice, which is transformation. The transformation comes in the sacrifice, right? And so you have to be able to transform that. And this is another word that I will say that I feel like M.E., when she was saying earlier how words get watered down and people don't recognize the true power of a word and what it truly means. And transformation is definitely one of those words. And so I wanted to read the actual definition of it, which is a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. So it has to be thorough and dynamic, right? And so oftentimes people say, oh, they changed this one little thing. They done been transformed. No, you just changed that one little thing, which is good. Not to take away from that change, because change needs to happen too. But that one change does a transformation not make, right? Sure. And understanding that it has to be thorough and dynamic, like dramatic change. It's to the point where, I think about when you see even physical transformations and the makeover shows that people have, and they have the before picture and her hair is all pulled back and she can't put an outfit together to save her life, and all these things. And then they come out and the hair is cut, it's laid, it's colored, makeup is done, outfits fitting body right, and all this thing. And it's almost to the point where you can't even tell that was the same person when you're looking at the two side-by-side pictures. That's transformation. And for us in life and in business, our desire and what we do should be to affect transformation where we go. And so, for me, even with my clients, like, that is important. It needs to be a transformation that happens, not just in how their business shows up, but in who they become in the process of their brand and their business. That's what's important to me. And so, so transformation is a big word that I do feel like has been watered down. And so I have come here today to set the record straight that one change does a transformation not make.
Now that has been said, it's so amazing how God just works. The scripture, and I know church, but I don't know the scripture reference. I'm sure ME can tell you guys what the scripture is. But ye be transformed by the renewing of your mind is what Famira just basically broke down for us. And my you, I was going a different place with the you, because my branding says that you should be unique, because that's what I preach. But my you today is something that there was a group that was called Escape, and they came in about the 1990s, right? And they had this song, and it said, "What I need from you is understanding," right? And so with the you, when you go to understand, and when you realize who you are and where you've been from and where you've been transformed from and where you are going, then that you shows up. You can't get to somewhere without having an understanding of who you are. And you can't get to really be who you are supposed to be through God. Because we try to put on our mask and we try to show up and be this person that we think we should be or we want to portray to be. But until you have the bottom line definition of who you are, and that's why I love the fact that Famira went to the dictionary. I'm usually a dictionary girl. And she went to the dictionary, and she wanted you to get a clear understanding, because we can't go further in this word without understanding what it means, right? That's the whole purpose of having a thesaurus. That's the whole purpose of having a dictionary. When you have an understanding of who you are, why you are, what words you use, then you can take it to the trip and you could really rock that out. Because if you don't, how can I be a queen if I don't know what one is? How can I be successful if I don't know what that is? How can I be changed if I don't know what that is? So if you have a clear understanding of what it is that you're attempting to be, and that you're growing to be, and that you're custom design assigned to be, then you can be it. So simply put, you is for understanding.
All right. Well, boom. That's all I'm going to say. Boom. So, the. So I think the obvious word here for the letter V is vision. Oh, what a shame to have eyesight, but no inward vision. Yes. Vision. You have got to have a vision for your life, for your business. The Bible tells us, without vision, the people perish, which means you crash and burn. So vision, you have got to have a vision. You don't always have to have the vision, but you have to have a vision to at least begin the journey.
Yes. And so W, I'm sure that these two ladies know what my W is, and it is a word that I have made up the spelling of. And I have made it start with a W, but in the dictionary it does not actually start with a W. However, it starts with a W in my own dictionary, and that is holistic. And so, and the reason why I have it started with holistic is actually started as a movement, I guess. It's turning into that. I don't know if it originally started as that, but it was really to promote wholeness and women being whole and a whole person. And so a lot of you that are connected with me and that know me know that I often, every platform I have is always about business and life. It's always about the whole woman and hitting all aspects of her, who she is, and having a holistic approach to everything that I do. And it's because too often we see people operating in pieces and not in wholeness. And so, so that's what it is. I mean, it's really, to me, very cut and dry and to the point. It's like you have to get whole in order to truly operate in fullness. And so, stop.
Will now be made whole. Yes.
Right.
Okay, I want people to understand, and I was trying to type it, what she said, because it was profound. She said, stop operating in pieces and operate in wholeness. That's deep. That's deep. That's deep. Because there are fragmented people all over the world who, Lord have mercy, God just revealed something to me, and I got to share what jumped in my spirit. Then I'm going to get to my letter. But most of us here are women today. When you are in the bed with this man and that man, you operating in pieces, honey, because that's not your husband. So you're operating in the pieces from fragments of relationships gone past, right? And when you are ready to marry your husband, he's getting the pieces that you have picked up from here and there. It's almost like a thrift store. It's almost like a thrift store, or some of us a flea market. When you go in and you pick up this piece and you pick up that piece, and you'll know who you are. You pick up the pieces of your self-esteem, and you pick up the pieces of your self-worth, and you pick up the pieces of where you thought you were and who you thought you were and why you're using your body for this, that, and the other. These are the pieces, and you're not whole. I don't know why. I'm going to leave that right there and go to my letter. But that's what God told me to say when she said that. Okay. Jesus, let me go on to what I'm supposed to do. X was hard. X was hard, but God made it easy, like He does so many things for me. X was something. It goes along with seeing the truth and seeing the transparency and seeing who you're supposed to be and what's supposed to be in order, what's not in order, what's broken, what's fragmented. It goes right along with what my sister was saying. Yes, ma'am. It's that X-ray. X-ray vision. Yes. And it's so amazing because when people always ask you what superpower you want to have, right? And I always say I want to have X-ray vision because I want to see what is being presented to me. Because on the outside, people can present what they want to. They can present, but I want to see the inner side of people. And it's funny because that's how spiritually I operate a lot of times. I see what is in the heart of somebody. And that's a blessing and a curse. Because I might see them as God sees them, but they're not operating in how God wants them to be. So it's like X-ray vision is this powerful thing that comes together and you're able to see what it is that is the truth and the transparency. So there we go.
All right, for X-ray vision, Supergirl. And so why is really simple. of all of the letters that we've gone through, if you don't use this one word right here, even more profound than Jesus, because you even got to say this to him before he really becomes the savior of your life. And that word is yes. You gotta have yes. You gotta have yes. The real yes. You gotta have real, true, authentic yeses in your life. You have to have authentic yeses in your life.
Yes, definitely. Awesome. And then I had Z, so round up our ABCs in life and business. And in order to do all of these things that we have talked about, A through Y, the only way to get the most out of it is to operate in zeal. You have to be enthusiastic about it. Have excitement about what you're doing. Be glad that you are here to experience all these other letters and all these other words and collaborate and, you know, have dedication and be empowered and transform lives. If you're not doing it from a space of excitement and enthusiasm for what God has placed you on this planet to do, it's really kind of like, well, what you doing it for? So, you know, that's why we get excited. That's why we're over here always like, turned up, because we have that zeal.
Fun. It was fun, Lakiba. F-U-N. Fun. Well, we have come to the end of the conversation. Has it not been like the best ever?
Yes, so we ended on time, y'all. We did good.
So much. I guess we're gonna go off the air now. Join us next month, same time, same place for the conversation.
Yes.
Bye.